Started. I feel like I should be playing music or something while people are waiting.
Ah!
You could sing to us.
Who? Me?
Yeah, PJ, you.
Let me see. Singing in the rain. Singing in the rain.
Great job, PJ. We missed you on the show last night. We had the draft extravaganza.
Really?
Yeah. All right, everybody. Why don't we go ahead and get started? We actually don't have a whole lot for tonight, so we don't want to waste everybody's time. But again, we appreciate everybody coming on. Jason has some kid duties, so you might see him in the window, but you might see him chasing a little kid around the room too. So I'm pinch hitting for him tonight. And my trusty sidekick, as usual, is Brittany and all the rest of the staff that are on tonight. So welcome. And again, thank you for the time to be with us for these meetings. First thing is just a real quick shout to, we're looking for any videos or photos of any kind of sports or activities from the past year. We realize that it's been probably few and far between, but anything that you do have, we would love you to send them in for our year-end celebration. And Brittany will go ahead and enter the email address. I think it's just media@SpecialOlympicsWisconsin.org, but she'll enter that into the chat. So that way, if you have those, please share them, and then we'll highlight those for the year-end celebration that we're going to do. The other thing was just a reminder, USA Games nominations are currently being accepted for bowling, and those are coming in, so we're starting to get a good number of those. You access that through the Special Olympics website, and these are a placeholder for all of the sports, but right now we're currently only doing bowling, and I think probably, if not tomorrow, early next week, we'll have the coaches' nomination forms up. Correct, Michaela? Yep, she says, yep, thumbs up. So, and we'll be collecting those coaches' ones for a couple months, I think. We have a March 1st or April 1st, March 1st deadline for those. So any questions, just let us know. The big thing that we wanted to talk about tonight was an update to the phasing protocol that we shared. So I'm going to share my screen actually, so you can kind of see what we currently have. And let's see, I can get to this. All right, I can bring this up. All right, does everybody see the SOE website? Is that what you're seeing? Good. All right, so on here in forms that we've sent out, it's kind of a description of what we've been trying to do. And so when we created this, in a way, it's kind of us being ahead of the curve. When we created this, we were going off of the numbers that the Wisconsin Department of Health Services website had, where they were updating that every week. And then in the practice that we had, where the athletic directors and Jason were getting together once a week, the Thursday after this gets updated on Wednesday night, and going over and relooking at the numbers and then evaluating who could be in what phase. When we did this, there was only a highest level of 350 by the DHS website. And so when we did this, we said, well, we need a higher level for stay at home. And so we just kind of said, let's do 700, because basically it was doubling the 350, which was on the website. So we called that extremely high. Well, incredibly prescient of us, DHS came out with a new way to do the scores last week. And so they added an extremely high category as well. And so because we want to continue to follow what they're doing, it does change this upper number, the extremely high level. They actually use 1,000. I'm not sure how they came to that number, other than the fact that numbers are just crazy high in our state. So they picked that number probably because it was a round number. So we are going to adjust our numbers as well. It doesn't really affect anybody right now. We're pretty much, everybody's in stay at home mode. And so we'll be updating the website tomorrow, and then we will send out the documents. Athletic directors will send them out tomorrow, I think tomorrow or early next week, with this new document. But basically it will just be, the very high will be 350 to 1,000, and then extremely high will be 1,000 up. So there is a difference there of 300, but in these days when we're looking at 2,000 numbers, it won't mean a lot, but we will still always evaluate what we're doing. And then as we kind of get into next year and look at, again, we're hoping to be able to bring or extend the bowling season. So that way people that still want to do bowling can do that next year, early first quarter, January, February, and then for winter games, as well as hopefully what we want to do with basketball skills. We'll be always looking at these numbers, evaluating where we're at, looking at what DHS says. We may evaluate and rechange something down here at some point. But again, we don't, we primarily do this so that we have a metric that we can use to make sure that our athletes and our coaches and our volunteers and our staff, everybody that's involved, stays safe. So I am going to stop sharing that. So be on the lookout for that. Are there any questions in regards to that? Anything in the chat?
And which website is that we're looking for? Just the Special Olympics or the bowling one?
So you go to the Special Olympics website, and what you do is if you just go to the main site, at the top there is a sports, who we are in the sports, and it's a return to play during COVID. So it's pretty easy to find.
I'll also include a direct link to it in my follow-up email.
Yeah. Looks like there's some. All right, so then let me go back to. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about, so we're going to be doing some Zoom, we are, the group, and Mark is going to be doing some Zoom training for agencies that are interested in finding ways to stay connected to their athletes. We found it extremely helpful. Some people feel extremely zoomed out, but they have actually been very, very helpful for us to kind of maintain a presence within our staff, as well as with all of you for these coaches meetings. I think these have turned out really well, as well as maybe some things that we'll do next year. So because of that, some of the agency managers and some coaches have asked for specific training, not necessarily like how do you get on and watch a Zoom, but how do you actually set one up, and what are the options for the free version versus paying, things like that. So I'm going to throw it over to Mark to talk a little bit more about it. We have a sign up for people that are interested, and hopefully I didn't say everything that he was just going to say.
I've run out of words.
More for sure.
Thanks, Don. Yes, we had mentioned this at the last meeting, and the feedback from a lot of programs, not only from the agency managers, but some of the coaches and such, talked a little bit about how do we do this? How do we stay connected? As you can see, based on our numbers, we're just not getting together, and how do we do that? How do we bridge that gap? And we have experts within our department, and if you know me, you know that I'm not one of them. But I'm relying on our experts to help kind of lead the way and explain how to set up Zoom, how to work, so you can be in better contact with your families, your athletes, your volunteers, and just kind of, and you can set it up, and then when we do future follow-on quarterly Zoom meetings, you can relay that in a more experienced way, talk about some ideas. So we have a sign up. I sent something out this morning to the agency managers, but there's a sign up. It is for December 16th. We're doing it from 7 to 8:30. I'm not sure if it will take that long. I know it'll take that long for me, but please make sure that you sign up so you can get the email with the link and such with it. So Brittany, you have that link?
Yep,
Um,
I will share it in the follow-up email.
So please take the time. If you have someone else that's interested, just make sure that they're signed up for it. We're excited. And if you've got any questions, just give us a shout.
Tyler Derringer says, Mark, you never got to show his mom. Tyler, you made him speechless. That's hard to do. One other thing I'll mention on Zoom too is that, as many of you know, there is a free version and a paid version. And so the free version allows you to have meetings up to 40 minutes, and then it kind of cuts you off. But the paid version allows unlimited, and that is something that could be an agency expense. And if it is something that you decide to do, let us know, because I think we need to figure out how we can use our discount that we can apply. So we as an organization, as a nonprofit, get a 50% discount on the paid version. So it turns out to be about $75 a year. So it's not huge for one user. But again, that one user, they can set up unlimited number of meetings and have, I think, up to 100 people in the room at a time, something like that. So we'll just need to figure out where you guys, the agencies, as an accredited program, part of Special Olympics Wisconsin, should be eligible for that. We would just need to figure out from our operations team how we could manage the billing and all those things. So just let Mark know, work with Mark, and we'll figure things out to help everybody.
Yeah, you can let myself know, or your regional staff, and then we'll all communicate, and we'll kind of work through it. So the sooner you, the better. But please, it's a nice form of communication, and especially this time. So it's something to definitely consider.
We haven't got Mark figured it out. All right, so just a couple other random things, since my staff is probably wondering what I'm going to talk about now, because there's nothing left on the agenda. They're all freaking out. Again, I just want to say we understand kind of what's going on now. The numbers in our state are just astronomical, and so that's why people are all in the stay at home. We've done a lot in the past with when this all started with doing the virtual SOE Lives and trying to do some of those things. And we still maintain the Wednesday night one. So if you have athletes that are interested, we still do the Wednesday night at 7 p.m. But we're continuing to try to evaluate what things are going to look like towards the end of this year, early into next year. But if you guys have ideas, let us know. Athletes, PJ, TJ, Tyler, there's different. You guys might have some ideas. We're still looking for things that we can do. We desperately want to keep the athletes involved during this time, but we know it's hard, and we know they kind of got a little bored of the whole SOE Live stuff after a while, because we saw our numbers dropping off. But we're trying to be creative and identify ways and look for ways that we can keep the athletes engaged, because we know how desperately they want to be involved in doing things. It's just really tough to kind of encourage them doing them out in public or doing them out in groups right now. So with that, I will leave it up to all of you if you have any other questions. Otherwise, we will be off next week, and it's a good week because it's Thanksgiving anyway, and then be back in 2 weeks, and we'll reevaluate the numbers. So yes, you want to make a quick announcement? Go for it.
I just wanted to let everyone know that our coach, Ken Kummerlein, who passed away, he is going to be honored by WTMJ4 next Tuesday. The show will be on WTMJ4 at 8 p.m. on Tuesday, the 24th. And several of the athletes from West Allis and North Suburban were interviewed for that. It's usually an in-person award ceremony, but because of COVID, it'll be on TV this year. So I know there's so many of you who love it, and we'd love to have you watch it.
Yeah, no, that would be great. If you can type that information, or Brittany, did you get that information written down? And then we can
I'm
make
trying
sure.
to. What was the station again?
Channel 4, WTMJ, I'm going to type it. 8 p.m. November 24th, and it is the Positively Milwaukee Awards.
Yeah, we'll let our marketing department know tomorrow too.
And Tommy, I don't know if Tommy's on the call, but he's the one who nominated Ken.
I don't see Tommy.
No, I don't think he's on.
Okay. Yeah,
And-
we'll make sure to get a hold of him tomorrow and let him know that's happening, and we'll try to get something out on the website too. Yeah, that's one of the many sad outcomes of this pandemic. Ken was a great guy. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Anybody else have anything you want to share for the group?
The big red raffle on tomorrow.
Hey, good one, Mike. Big Red Raffle drawing is tomorrow at noon, 1 o'clock?
Noon.
Noon.
Noon? Okay, noon. I got out of being Chili Bear, so thank you, Aaron, for that. But they will do the raffle live on Facebook. So all you have to do, if you have Facebook, you follow Special Olympics Wisconsin. They will make, apparently they send something out the minute that they go live. And because they know it's going to take a few people some time to kind of get on there, they've got, I think, some Unified Champion School partners on there. I think the athlete couldn't make it. Chili Bear, a couple other little things, and then they'll do the drawing. And so if you bought a ticket, be watching. And even if you can't be there, we will be recording it, and we'll get a hold of you. We'll get a hold of the winner. What else? Hey, Mike, what else am I missing?
Thank your grocery store employees.
Yeah, thank your grocery store employees. Thank all your frontline healthcare workers. Thank your postman.
The
Thank
Walgreens.
the officers and emergency EMTs.
The Walgreens fundraiser. I think you missed.
Well, that one's over. So we did have a fundraiser with Walgreens, and it was really, really successful. The Walgreens did a fabulous job this year for us, selling icons. So I think we're going to do a special thank you to them and all of the athletes. We have a lot of athletes that work at Walgreens, and so we're going to do a special promo video highlighting them and all the stores that were kind of the top money generators. So yep, that was a good one.
Don, do you know the numbers from Walgreens?
I don't.
For it?
I'll try to find out
Okay.
and text you tomorrow. I just know it was a
Thanks.
lot better than last year.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
our color-
the ornaments.
Yep, ornament sale. Yep, ornament sale's going on. Actually, I'm on our Special Olympics Wisconsin website, and that's on the front page. Get your ornament now.
And then there's one other thing. Can't
Be ready for the plunges next year. All that info should be coming out soon.
Are you guys doing it?
Of course we are. It'll just be a little different, but we don't want to steal their thunder. That's the development team, so we'll let them share that when the time is right.
We'll probably have a guest host come on and give the whole spiel for us.
Yeah.
So.
They might give a teaser tomorrow during the Facebook Live Big Red Raffle. So there you go.
Sweet.
PJ.
I have one quick question. So my brother and I are going to put our papers in for the Unify. So when I fill out, do I put athlete or Unified partner?
Well, you'll both fill one out. So I think that's one of the things that we need. It's probably another clarification if you're doing it together. But yeah, just you each would fill one out. So you would fill out as an athlete, and he would do it as a Unified partner, but you would circle the Unified part.
So
If there's
when
any
I put
questions, just call me tomorrow. We'll figure it out.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it.
Or call Jason. Bug him. You haven't bugged
All
him
right.
for a while, right?
Yeah, I'll email him if I have any questions.
And the reminder on that, we have a spot when you're filling out the form for the Unified where it says you list your Unified teammates. The athlete would list the Unified partner they would be nominating with, and the partner would list the athlete.
That way we can match them up.
Okay.
All righty. Well, unless there's any other questions, we'll let everybody have the rest of their evening back. All right, everybody have a great Thanksgiving next week too. Stay safe, everybody.
You too, Don.
All righty, bye-bye.
Hey, Steve, is that on the protective behaviors that you're talking about? You're muted.
Oh, I'm on a.
Sorry, this is a side note, everybody. You can all still leave. Have a good night.